Imagine waking up one morning not to the familiar sounds of your city, but to an eerie silence on the news. You turn on your devices only to find the world's borders erased from every digital map. The neat lines that once defined countries are simply gone. The sun rises, birds sing, life continues its rhythm seemingly undisturbed, but every map is blank. No nations, no boundaries, just land and sea, free of human-drawn divisions. The political landscape as we knew it has vanished overnight. Overnight, we're not Americans, Nigerians, or Japanese. The labels that once defined our identities suddenly feel irrelevant. We're just humans, sharing one planet, under one sky. The concept of nationality fades, replaced by a shared sense of humanity. This isn't a disaster or an invasion, no hostile force at play. It's a silent, universal shift, a transformation that transcends physical conflict, a change that affects every single person on Earth. Borders are more than lines, they are so much more. They're rules, languages, currencies, and histories, the very fabric of our societal structures. They dictate who can go where, what we can trade, and how we interact. For centuries, they've shaped our identities, molded our cultures, and defined our allegiances. They've sparked wars, fueled conflicts, and kept us apart, creating divisions where perhaps none needed to exist. Now governments scramble, leaders in disarray. What does it mean to lead a country with no edges? Who's in charge when there's no territory to govern in the traditional sense? The world's organizing principle dissolves. The very foundation of our geopolitical order crumbles, leaving us with questions we never thought we'd face, challenging our understanding of society and governance. Suddenly, families separated by borders can reunite, free to cross the invisible lines that once kept them apart. Scientists can collaborate freely, sharing knowledge and resources without the constraints of national interests. The world's cultures, knowledge, and experiences are open to everyone, creating a global tapestry of shared understanding. The disappearance of borders isn't just political, it's deeply personal, affecting our relationships, our sense of belonging, and our understanding of the world. It's an invitation to see Earth as a single shared home, a unified entity where everyone is a neighbor. The initial shock gives way to realization, a slow dawning of understanding. The barriers that divided us are gone. Not just physically but mentally and emotionally as well. The world holds its breath, waiting to see what comes next, poised on the brink of a new era. We're challenged to redefine who we are, no longer by where we're from but by what we share, by our common humanity and shared destiny. The lines are gone. The future is wide open, full of both uncertainty and boundless possibility. Imagine a world where the barriers to travel simply dissolve. Instantly, travel transforms, becoming something almost unrecognizable compared to what we know today. The friction melts away. Airports lose their fortress-like feel, shedding the layers of security that have come to define them. The long lines, the pat-downs, the constant vigilance, all fade into memory. Imagine a world with no more passport checks or border controls. The very concept of a border becomes fluid, less a barrier and more a suggestion. Buying a ticket from Cairo to Rio, a journey across continents and cultures, is as easy as a bus ride across town. The process is seamless, intuitive, and accessible to everyone. The world's infrastructure, painstakingly built for control and restriction, is overwhelmed as millions move freely, exploring new horizons and connecting with distant lands. The existing system simply can't cope with the sheer volume of travelers. Highways and train stations overflow, bursting at the seams with the constant influx of people. Airports struggle with sheer numbers, not security. The challenge shifts from preventing entry to managing the flow of an unprecedented number of passengers. But humanity adapts, as it always does. New transit hubs rise, designed to handle the increased capacity and facilitate seamless connections between different modes of transport. High-speed trains cross continents, shrinking vast distances and connecting far-flung cities in a matter of hours, and long-distance trips shrink from weeks to days, making the world feel smaller and more accessible. Visiting the Amazon with its lush rainforests and vibrant wildlife, or the Northern Lights, dancing across the Arctic sky in a breathtaking display of natural beauty, becomes an everyday reality, no longer a distant dream reserved for the privileged few. Global tourism explodes, transforming local economies and creating new opportunities for cultural exchange. This leads to blending cultures in ways we've never seen, fostering understanding and breaking down barriers between people from different backgrounds. Small towns become melting pots, attracting people from all corners of the earth, of languages, foods, and traditions, creating vibrant and diverse communities. Children grow up, immersed in a world of diversity with friends from every corner of the globe, learning to appreciate different perspectives and cultures from a young age. The planet becomes a living classroom, offering endless opportunities for exploration and discovery. Every journey, whether across continents or just to the next town, becomes a lesson in humanity, fostering empathy and understanding. Our relationship with place changes forever, as we become more connected to the world and more aware of our shared humanity. The world is in motion, constantly evolving and changing, and so are we, adapting to a new era of unprecedented mobility and interconnectedness. The global economy is upended, traditional structures crumble, and familiar patterns dissolve. We are witnessing a seismic shift, a fundamental restructuring of how the world conducts business. The old rules no longer apply, and the future is being written in real time, a future where the very foundations of commerce are being redefined. Tariffs, trade barriers, and customs vanish overnight. Borders become lines on a map, rather than obstacles to trade. The flow of goods, services, and capital accelerates, creating a truly interconnected global network. This unprecedented openness promises both immense opportunities and significant challenges. A coffee farmer in Ethiopia sells directly to Stockholm, bypassing traditional intermediaries and capturing more of the value they create. This direct connection empowers producers in developing nations and allows consumers to access unique products from around the world. A startup in Lagos competes with Silicon Valley, leveraging global platforms and access to talent to challenge established tech giants. Innovation is no longer confined to traditional centers of power. It can emerge from anywhere, disrupting industries and creating new markets. Goods and ideas flow freely, sparking innovation and growth. This unrestricted exchange of knowledge and resources fuels creativity and accelerates the pace of technological advancement. The world becomes a laboratory, where new ideas are constantly tested and refined. But local businesses face new threats, as they are suddenly exposed to competition from all corners of the globe. The playing field is leveled, but not everyone is prepared for the intensity of the game. Suddenly, everyone is a competitor. The local bakery now competes with artisanal bread makers in France, and the neighborhood tailor faces off against bespoke clothing designers in Italy. Communities must find ways to preserve their unique economies, protecting their cultural heritage, and supporting local artisans. The challenge is to embrace globalization without sacrificing the distinct character that makes each community special. In a global marketplace, the digital realm becomes the new town square, where buyers and sellers from all over the world connect and transact. Work transforms as people move to where opportunities are, seeking better prospects and higher wages in new and emerging markets. This global migration reshapes communities and creates a more diverse and interconnected workforce, creating new hubs and emptying others. The rise and fall of cities becomes more rapid as economic activity shifts and new centers of innovation emerge. Cities reinvent themselves to attract a global citizenry, not just workers, offering a vibrant cultural scene, world-class amenities, and a welcoming environment for people from all backgrounds. Value shifts from price to provenance as consumers become more interested in the story behind the products they buy. Authenticity, craftsmanship, and sustainability matter more. Consumers are increasingly willing to pay a premium for products that are made with care, respect for the environment, and a commitment to ethical labor practices. Consumers support businesses that align with their values, choosing to spend their money with companies that share their commitment to social and environmental responsibility anywhere in the world. This creates a powerful incentive for businesses to adopt more ethical and sustainable practices, regardless of their location. The economy becomes more conscious and connected, driven by a growing awareness of the social and environmental impact of our consumption choices. The challenge balancing global access with local identity, ensuring that the benefits of globalization are shared by all, while preserving the unique cultural heritage of each community. Capitalism is redefined, not by protectionism, but by choice. Consumers are empowered to vote with their wallets, supporting businesses that align with their values, and creating a more ethical and sustainable global economy. The world's marketplace is open to all, offering unprecedented opportunities for entrepreneurs, consumers, and communities to connect and thrive. Without borders, our sense of identity is shaken. Flags and anthems lose their meaning. Where are you from becomes a complex question. At first, people cling to traditions, languages, and customs for comfort. But as cultures mix, new hybrid identities emerge. Children grow up speaking multiple languages, celebrating diverse holidays and feeling connected to the planet, not just a patch of land. Art, music, and ideas flourish in this fusion. The fear of cultural erasure is real, but communities respond by celebrating and sharing their heritage. Cultural centers become vital, preserving traditions in a global age. Unity doesn't mean uniformity. The world's mosaic grows richer. Over time, identity shifts from birthplace to passion, profession, and philosophy. We connect through shared dreams, not just shared soil. Humanity becomes a single, diverse family, defined by our future together. Who keeps us safe in a borderless world? National security vanishes. Law enforcement must cooperate globally. Criminals can disappear across continents in hours, forcing unprecedented collaboration. Governments are reimagined. Regional councils rise, and a global authority emerges to tackle planet-wide issues. The challenge balancing global power with local autonomy, avoiding tyranny. Environmental problems become everyone's responsibility. Pollution and resources are shared concerns. Global regulations could finally work, but the risk of overexploitation grows. Trust becomes the foundation of security and governance. Can we build fair systems for all, respecting freedom and justice? Conflicts shift from nations to visions for humanity's future. The experiment is massive. The stakes are survival. The world's fate depends on our ability to cooperate. Science and healthcare leap forward, breakthroughs spread instantly, and care becomes a universal right. Families are no longer separated by borders, love and opportunity know no limits. Education becomes global, students learn across continents, growing into true citizens of the world. But do erased borders unite us, or do we find new ways to divide? Prejudice and fear don't vanish, they're confronted on a global stage. The dream of unity could falter, replaced by new conflicts. The real test isn't living without lines on a map, but without lines in our minds. Can we see strangers as neighbors and care for distant others as our own? A borderless world challenges our empathy and imagination. The journey begins not with erasing maps, but with expanding our hearts. The future is ours to shape, together,